I am researching the modern style of office buildings by the Bates, Smart and McCutcheon architectural firm and analysing the differences in their designs from the 1930s in both interwar period and Great Depression, but also analysing this architecture to that in the 1950s, where buildings conform to the modernist design principles. In reference to machine for working, office buildings similarly incorporate simplicity and functionalism, in comparison to office buildings today, which focus on sustainability and the design's environmental impact. Designers like Studio 505 and McPierce make efficient use of new technologies and materials for the buildings in our cities today. I'm interested in the changes and development of Australian architecture over time, and thought what was happening during the 1930s and 50s had a great impact on the designs being built. It is evident that inspiration of past designs have influenced recent buildings in both similar and different aspects. Notable Australian architect Walter Osborne McCutcheon, born in 1899, was the second of 6 children to Victorian parents raised in Armidale, Melbourne. McCutcheon completed his formal education at Wesley College and attended architecture lectures at the Working Men's College in 1917. A year later, he began association with leading architectural firm Bates, Peebles and Smart. From 1919 to 1921, McCutcheon undertook a Diploma of Architecture at the University of Melbourne and continued afterwards attending the university's architectural atelier. He left Australia in 1922, working with architects in London until 1924, while spending the following year travelling around Europe. It was only in 1926, after returning to Melbourne, that he partnered with the firm known as Bates, Smart and McCutcheon, later becoming the leading partner of the firm and its reputation as one of Australia's largest and most prosperous architectural firms in the 1950s. Once retiring in 1977, he remained as a consultant with the firm that is now known today as Bates Smart. Once partnering with the firm, McCutcheon overtook Norman Peebles' position as Chief Design Architect, providing the firm with a renewed focus on design qualities by linking architecture with other art forms. In the midst of the Great Depression, Australia's unemployment rate rose to 32% by 1932. However, the firm managed to survive the economic downturn and dramatic work drop, but struggled with the death of Edward Bates, where McCutcheon eventually took responsibility of his role. Melbourne's Australian Mutual Provident Society building, located on the corner of Market and Collins Street, was built by BSM from 1928 to 1931, showcasing the previous conservative style combined with modernist design. It was one of McCutcheon's first major commissions, which helped to sustain the firm throughout the Depression. This style in Australia was important during the 1930s, helping stimulate the economic recovery post-Depression. The exterior is influenced by rustication, similar to American skyscraper designs, with minimal decoration. The 10-story building consists of walls variously constructed of brick. The completed main chamber highlights the features of the steel frame beams. A concealed panel heating system, considered innovative, was the first of its kind in Australia. The ground floor chamber combines modernist design with the Renaissance Revival style, prominent through the large columns and detailed walls of the interior, referencing the Art Deco style, symbolic of curving archways and extravagant decorated ceilings in large open spaces. In 1942, McCutcheon was directed as Chief Architect with the US Army Corps of Engineers, contributing to war service by creating military infrastructure across Australia, providing insight into highly organised management practices, which skills he brought back to BSM in 1946. McCutcheon's career peaked late 1950s, when Melbourne was recovering from shortages and wartime restrictions. Melbourne was the first city to undergo an increase in post-war high-rise buildings, beginning with BSM's around ICI house design, 1955 to 1958, being Australia's first skyscraper. McCutcheon directed the firm, leading in commercial and educational design, which ultimately enhanced the firm's reputation. The ICI building, completed with 20 stories and standing at 80 metres, broke the previous 40-metre height restriction. It was iconically named Australia's most accomplished glass building, using the latest materials and technology. The glass curtain walls represent pure forms of materials, indicating the need for light, open interior spaces. An important aspect for improving the lifestyle of people spending long working hours in the office and a way which they could connect with the outside environment. Also symbolic of the machine age, where form follows function, referencing that the office workspace not only provided functionality, but also improved the well-being of workers and their productivity. Development sketches highlight the simplicity of modernist principles and scale of the refined building. Its anti-historicist construction with materials of simple geometric composition eliminates ornamentation to provide efficient production at a lower cost by staying true to the materials. Typical floor plans convey the simple rectangular outline forms. The modernist style of the staff cafeteria includes simplistic and minimalist design to sustain the needs of everyday life, focusing on the importance of function rather than form. The interior of the open plan layout is structured with a symmetrical appearance. This BSM design symbolized progress in Australia, receiving publicity nationally and internationally, introducing aspects of modernity, efficiency, and advancements in construction techniques. In the present age, apart from designers seeking the conceptual aesthetics of a design, it's considered how a design impacts the environment to be more sustainably efficient, leading to why designers have become more aware of environmental issues. Australia has been one leading this movement since 2003 when a Green Star rating system was implemented regarding Australian architecture that clearly demonstrates a commitment to sustainability, which have lower carbon footprints than regular buildings and ultimately aim to decrease the effect on the planet. The vibrant geometric appearance of the Pixel building, designed by Studio 505 2010, conveys sustainable contemporary design with its unique system to capture, filter, and process rainwater. Successfully scoring perfect Green Star points, Pixel is Australia's first carbon-neutral office building. The geometric and colourful iconic facade features abstract forms and patterns, which greatly contrast to the surrounding cityscape. It consists of experimental design with the advancements in technology and development of materials. The similar forms of the interior provide a maximized light-filled space. Development begins with the geometric pattern, which is then developed into a model proposal, addition to solar panels on the rooftop and a water collecting system, which the building operates entirely on, is indicative of sustainable ideologies. Mick Pearce, a Zimbabwean architect, specializes in sustainable design in hope to reduce the damage to the environment. His designs are a response to changing climate conditions rather than static forms, which is recognized in his co-design of the CH2 office building. He takes inspiration from natural materials with traditional technologies based on biomimicry. The front consists of the natural appearance of wooden shutters, showcasing the nature-inspired exterior, including the greenery along the side of the building, as well as innovative wind turbines. The rooftop provides an insight into the function of the building with the sustainable ventilation of heating and cooling systems, which provides 100% fresh air to all occupants, with alternating air cycles every half hour, aiming to reduce electricity consumption by 85%, gas consumption by 87%, and water supply by 72%. This building was leading the way in Australia's sustainable design, being the first new commercial office building in Australia to meet and exceed the Green Star rating system. The interior layout is quite refined in design and incorporates simple bright colours. However, the ceiling design explores an experimental style, formed with precast concrete, increasing the thermal mass capacity and optimizes surface area. The style of architecture was dependent on time period. Shortages of materials during the post-war era meant for simple design, while the Great Depression resulted in the spread of new ideas through architecture, intending to improve the past and focus on recovery and reform. However, currently the environment is a key focus for designers in creating more beneficial architecture, which in the present era expresses a range of experimental styles, including both simple and refined or complex forms, while the advancements in technology and materials have developed greatly over time.